Alright, so picture this. It's the early hours of March 17th. You've just wrapped up a fantastic night at your Year 12 ball, feeling like you're on top of the world. What better way to keep the good times rolling than by heading to an after-ball party at a mate's place? But little did you know, this night would take a sharp, and I mean very sharp, turn. Our story begins with our main character. Let's call him the Injured Party. Trust me, the name will make sense soon. He's 16, almost 17, and he's got dreams, big dreams, of becoming a professional soccer player. So after a night of dancing and good times, he heads to this after-party, probably thinking it'll be just a bit of fun before he calls it a night. But as he steps out into the backyard to make a quick phone call, disaster strikes. You see, while he's looking at his phone, casually walking around, he falls right into an uncovered soakwell. Now, before you ask, yes, a soakwell is as painful as it sounds, especially when it's 1.5 meters deep. The right side of his abdomen slams into the edge of this pit, and our injured party is left in excruciating pain. Fast forward to the aftermath, this isn't just some bruised ego situation. No, our injured party has managed to score himself a grade 3 kidney injury. That's right, folks. We're talking about a laceration so severe that it literally split his kidney apart. To add insult to injury, there was a hematoma, blood in his urine, and anemia because of blood loss. Not exactly how you want to remember your last year of high school, right? But here's where things get really interesting. Our injured party decided he wasn't going to let this slide. He filed a negligence claim under the Occupier's Liability Act 1985, and wouldn't you know it, the court found in his favour, by default no less, because the defendants couldn't be bothered to show up. That's when the real drama started. The defendants, obviously regretting their life choices at this point, tried to argue that the injured party was, shall we say, a little too merry at the time of the accident. They even brought up his blood alcohol level, 0.059 if you're curious, as proof. But here's the kicker. The court wasn't having it. They found that this blood alcohol level was hardly enough to prove he was so intoxicated that he couldn't watch where he was going. Meanwhile, the court was busy hearing testimonies from doctors about how severe this injury really was. One doctor even estimated that our injured party would only retain about 80% of his kidney function and could develop high blood pressure later in life. Ouch. But the story isn't all doom and gloom. Despite the injury, the injured party managed to get back on the soccer field, even joining the Perth Glory youth team later on. So, what's the verdict? The court awarded him $51,280 in damages. Not too shabby for a night that went from best night ever to worst pain imaginable. And let's be real, the lesson here is clear. If you're going to host a party, maybe double check that all your soakwells are covered. Just a thought. Oh, but wait, there's a twist. Despite this victory, the injured party wasn't able to escape the long-term consequences of his injury. Sure, he's back on the soccer field, but he's now dealing with a permanent reduction in kidney function and the potential for future health issues. It's a harsh reminder that even a small mistake, like leaving a soakwell uncovered, can have massive, life-altering consequences. So if you're in Western Australia and you're thinking about hosting a party, just make sure your backyard isn't a booby trap. Or better yet, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, maybe give a good lawyer a call. Because as this real case shows, sometimes the smallest details can have the biggest impacts. And that's the story of how a night of fun turned into a very real, very painful legal case. Stay safe out there and watch where you're walking.